One of my random thoughts that I had this week was like, you know how you pretty much constantly wear like the same 1 or 2 jumpers? Like, isn't it so funny that it's socially acceptable to wear the same jumper all the time, but like it's weird if you see somebody wearing the same shirt all the time and you're just like, do you even wash that? But if it's a jumper, everybody's like you don't even think anything of it. Is it because jumpers are more annoying to wash, or is it because you don't have like 12 jumpers? Anyway, it's just a random brain thought that I had because I pretty much wear the same jumper constantly and I get sad if it's in the wash. Anyway, yo, what's up? Week 5 and 6 recap. Let's go. All right, so welcome back to another vlog. I'm going to be doing a week 5 and week 6 prep update. So jumping straight into it, week 5 last week was a bit hard, but it was still really good at the same time. So throughout the week, like I found like my weight was like weirdly traveling upwards slowly, like within the same kilo. But we just didn't know why. Like it was really random and out of the blue. Like there shouldn't have been a reason it was traveling upwards, but it didn't really bother Beck much at all. And we ended up trialing at the end of the week just to see if it was like inflammation and fluid retention. And so what we did was we dropped my cows a little bit, added in a little bit of extra cardio and did a sauna sesh, and my weight just came straight back down. So that was really good to know that my body responds really well to that. So that was good. But yeah, otherwise, like all training throughout it was great. I had a really good week. And yeah, it was just food's going really well. There wasn't too much that happened in week 5. I feel like it was like a really easy week other than my weight changing. It just cardio felt like it took a bit of a longer time, but that's fine. Like I still only have 2 cardio sessions a week and 9,000 steps to get each day, and other people have like cardio every single day already. So that is all gravy baby with me. I'm happy to do my 2 cardio sessions that take me about 35-ish minutes. Yeah, week 5, not really much to report on other than my weight being weird, but it came back down, so that was fine. And then week 6 was a little bit harder for me. We had cycle things appear, and so weight came back up again, but today it actually dropped all the way back down again to my lowest weight that I've been so far, like the same as the end of last week. So stoked with that. And my new low weight for this prep currently is only 500 grams, give or take, away from my last stage weight that I was. So if that doesn't say like how much better this prep is going for me, then I don't know what does. And like with a lot more muscle density, I would say. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, not really concerned about the scale side of things. That doesn't really affect me. Like it's cool data to have, but otherwise, even everything that I put in, if it starts coming back up again, coach is like, that's cool. Like, great. So yeah, that's awesome. I had my first grumpy day that I've had so far. Like I woke up just on the wrong side of the bed. Like I don't even know why. I couldn't tell you. It was probably cycle things a little bit, and like coming off of contraception late last year and my cycle pretty much just getting back into routine, like I hadn't experienced that many normal cycles, so I wasn't actually sure like how my mood swings are and stuff like that. Like it happens. Like I like to think that I'm pretty good and don't have many of them, and I'm pretty a stable person throughout most of my months. But yeah, I was snacky, I was grumpy. I'm going to put a video of that morning in the next bit because I was so grumpy and just everything wasn't going right. Like I could have lost it, but I turned the day around. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like you're allowed to have an off day. Like I went into the gym, all I had to do was cardio and steps and posing, and it was hard. Like cardio took forever. Steps, even as soon as I started walking on that treadmill, I was like, I've been here for hours, like and I hadn't. But like I was like hoodie on, nobody talked to me. I'm so grumpy, just leave me alone kind of day. And luckily, like, there wasn't many people at the gym that I knew that day. There was one of them that was like grumpy, and I was like, yes, leave me alone. But like, everybody's allowed to have an off day, and I think that's fine to just be like, hey, don't talk to me today. And I think, like, as long as you don't affect other people with it, like, I know it's nobody else's fault that I'm grumpy, so I'm not gonna talk to them because I don't want to say anything bad that would like make them upset or hurt or anything. So just don't make your grumpy day somebody else's grumpy day. I just got on with it, went and got a coffee, came home, and I actually had the best day of work. Like, everyone with my clients, I had just such a good day. I got so much work done for all of them, and it was just so nice to have everybody else that I was working for like in really good moods too, like really thankful, and like it was just so nice to have some positivity throughout my day. And like, it really picked up after about 11 a.m. my mood definitely changed, and I was like on a high, and I was just, my work was great. Like, and it's just cool that, like, just try not to dwell in it. Like, even if you are in a grump, like, feel the feelings. Like, you're allowed to have off days. Like, don't get beat up or made feel bad. Don't have somebody make you feel bad for having a bad day. Like, it's okay. We're human. And just that I didn't dwell in being grumpy. I was just like, this sucks, but it's okay. And then came out the other side of it and ended up having a great day. So it just goes to show, like, don't try and like make yourself come out of it. Like, it'll happen. Like, you'll be fine. Cool. And then my sleep had actually improved, and I got better sleep the last 2 weeks than I had previously. I was just getting better at getting to bed on time. And yeah, that's been good. I've also just ordered some more CBD gummies, so I'm really excited for them to come because they help my sleep so much. So really, really excited to get them, because if you haven't tried them before, I'll put them in the next video because they should be here, and I'll chat more about them and why I like them. So keep an ear out for that, because I love them. If you struggle to sleep, give them a go. But yeah, so this year is just feeling so different to last year. And like, I'm not just keen for this prep. Like, I am obsessed with this prep. Like, all I want to do is my prep things. And like, even the food chat in my brain isn't as hard as it was last year. Like, last year, all I was thinking about was like things that I couldn't eat, things that I wanted to eat, my food that I had, I didn't want to eat it. Like, it was a lot harder, where this year I'm like, this is my food and I love this food, and that food's not mine and I don't even want it. So like, it's really, really cool that like I'm just obsessed with training. I'm obsessed with posing. Posing isn't hard to do. Last year I was like, oh, I've got to get my posing done, and I was doing it like once or twice a week. Like, now after pretty much every session I'll get posing done, unless I run out of time if I chat. But yeah, I'm so excited to be bringing together a better package than I did last year. If I didn't, it would be stupid. And just, it's not hard to get up at 4:30 every day. That alarm goes off. It's a little bit hard, like, it's cold, but yeah, I want to work for it. I want it to be hard. I want it to be difficult. I'm here for all of it. And yeah. So that is my prep update. I will put some training videos in here and some posing parts, and yeah, I will introduce my next guest after that as well. So please enjoy watching parts of my week, and you will see my very grumpy day as well, where I just was not having a bar of it. So about to do my posing, and just feel really flat today. First day of cycle things, and I feel so grumpy. And like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I did like my whole cardio session and then put my hoodie back on to do my steps. I just feel like I don't want to be grumpy, but like, I had a really good sleep, so I'm surprised, but I don't know. I just feel flat today. Hormone things, and I just make sure I stay out of people's way. And like, it's not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just like I feel grumpy, and I feel like I can't get out of the grump. It's like 7 a.m. But like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna get easily frustrated, so then I don't talk to people, so I don't get frustrated at them.
And like, I'm kind of glad when I have days like this that I am on my own, so I don't have to think about how making another person directly feel. But I don't know, my posing done, we still tick all the boxes and get it all done. But just wanted to share this, that I feel grumpy. Anyway, that's me. I'm so mad right now. So after I did that, did all my posing, and I normally check my video of my posing before I take my heels off. I wanted to get out of here today because I'm grumpy. So I like quickly got my shoes changed and ready to leave, and I was like, oh, I should probably check my posing video. The camera was facing the wrong way the whole time. So it's gonna be really hard for me not to be grumpy today, and just those annoying things, but I guess I'll put my heels back on and do it again. Fuck.
Cool, hope you enjoyed my training. So up next I have a chat with Sam. So we're just going to chat about things. He's a personal trainer out of World Gym Burpengary, and he's a coach at Caboolture Snakes Soccer Club. So we will go into all of that detail in there as well. But yeah, please enjoy my chat. We talk about a few things, and yeah, it was really fun, and hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you on the other side for a wrap up. Yee. Welcome. This is the interview between one dog. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, welcome back. I have my next guest on and we are going to just chat about a lot of different things. We've had a few questions come through, a few different topics to go through. So Sam is here and he is one of the personal trainers at World Gym Burpengary. Sam, introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you? What do you do? Give us a little rundown.
Well, as you said, Sam, working as a personal trainer at World Gym Burpengary. I've been there for maybe 2.5 years now. Started off as a group fitness instructor and then transitioned into one-on-one PT. And then on the side of that, I am a fitness coach at Caboolture Sports Soccer Club, which I've been playing at for 18 years. And yeah, took a step away from playing this year to focus on, I got offered a role as fitness coach this year. So yeah, what else do you want to know?
That's probably about it. Cool. So you said that you're at the soccer club. So you did used to be a player at the soccer club as well. So how did you find going from playing to then into your coaching role this year?
Well, finishing up last year, last year was a little bit tough. We kind of got promoted the year prior to that to the next level sort of thing, and I've really struggled last year with injury. I tore both quads. That kind of put me on the sidelines for about 6 months.
Not at the same time though.
Not at the same time. No, I tore one, came back, and then tore the other one a couple of weeks later.
So weak quads.
Yeah, weak quads. So yeah, coming into pre-season this year, I was really kind of 50-50 about it. I don't think my headspace was in the right place. Also trying to build a business on top of that. Had a lot going on. And yeah, the Coach Terry at the club, kind of offered me a fitness coach, strength and conditioning role with the club. Obviously took that and haven't regretted it since. Yeah, going from playing into coaching, yeah, kind of just gives you a complete different perspective on not only the particular sport, or it's more about the performance, whether it's the team or clients in general. Yeah, it's good. It's been a good experience so far. So I'm only 6 months into the apprenticeship, so hopefully it's a nice long career ahead of me.
See if your contract gets renewed next year.
See if the contract gets renewed.
And so what would you say is the biggest lesson that soccer has taught you? So first of all, how long have you been playing within soccer and all that sort of stuff? And then what's the biggest lesson that it's actually taught you throughout that time?
So as I said, yeah, 18 years playing for Caboolture, and then yeah, obviously retiring last year. But I think the biggest lesson was, essentially, and it's not just sports based, but just in life in general, whether it's relationships or with the workplace, but communication. Communication's key. And if, for example, if your team's got to play a certain way, certain gameplay, and the communication's not there, and everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, and whatever, the whole thing just kind of falls apart. A little bit like relationships, a little bit like the workplace. I find communication's definitely paramount for that.
Cool, awesome. So then jumping over to your other main role, so being a personal trainer in the gym. Being a personal trainer at the gym. So you have a lot of clients that, so you predominantly have general population clients?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so what would be your biggest tips coming into a commercial gym as somebody new? Coming into the gym, what would be your biggest tips for someone?
Biggest tips for someone starting off in the industry would...
Oh, as a client or as a
client,
or
okay.
As a PT?
What's your question?
Well, it was for clients.
For clients.
Yeah. Coming into a gym for the first time, general population, wanting to train.
Essentially, if you haven't had much training experience in the past, then yeah, definitely at least finding a training partner or finding a PT or just someone that kind of help you feel confident and comfortable to come into as you said, big commercial gym. We got at World Gym Burpengary, we got 4,500 members there. It can get a little bit intimidating at times. So, if you need to, yeah, if you have no idea what you're doing, then that's one thing I kind of regret coming up when I first started training was I came straight out of school and just jump on YouTube, just type in your basic bodybuilding and really bodybuilding.com, and it really kind of it takes you a while to kind of know find out what you're doing. So the only regret I kind of have back then was, just not hiring someone to kind of teach me safe and effective ways. And in saying that, it's also good to kind of develop and find that stuff out by yourself. But yeah, it's...
Well, you said like coming out of school, that's when you got into gym and you wish that you had have hired someone, but what would you say to someone who said that they can't afford coaching?
Can't afford coaching. Just research, I guess. You know, you got the whole wide web out there. So if you kind of dig hard enough and you kind of figure out what you actually want to achieve in the gym, and find out the goals and the time period that you want to kind of achieve them in, I don't think you can really go past just jumping on YouTube or jumping on Google. You know, there's so much information out there, but obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. So if you can essentially just kind of save up, or a lot of trainers I know are kind of open to offering, if you can't afford it, like a bit of a discount or a free session here and there, just kind of point you in the right direction. And kind of trying to figure it out from there, I guess.
Yeah. Or at least maybe having like a one-off session every now and again, maybe to just get like technique and stuff like that
like
fixed, and make sure that you're doing all of the training correctly. So then when you do start out, you can start off on a good run instead of struggling throughout the first bits, possibly injuring yourself. And probably recommended to at least have a couple of sessions if you can, if not ongoing. But
just trying to figure out those fundamentals, I guess, and just really trying to figure out those basics, and have some sort of game plan as to what you're trying to achieve, why you're there, what motivates you, what inspires you, and then the results do come after that. So
cool. And what do you love the most about being a PT coach?
Being a PT
and coach.
I think just kind of talking to and meeting people of all walks of life. I've had jobs in the past where you do essentially go out and you meet different types of people, but it's not as interactive or it's not as personal, obviously, as a personal trainer. So just kind of meeting people all walks of life, all different ethnics, all different personalities, and then being able to adapt my own skill set or your own skill set to help that person better their life and walk out of that gym after the 45-minute session feeling better than what they did walking in, mentally and physically. It's amazing.
Yeah, cool. You got somewhere to be. Are you glad that you became a PT a little bit later in life compared to a lot of people who it's probably their first thought that they do when they come out of school? Are you glad that it took you 9 years out of school to become a PT? Are you glad that you had that time before becoming a coach?
I think always kind of having something to do with health and fitness definitely helped. And then, as you said, I'm only 28, so I've done quite a lot of traveling as well. So I think definitely kind of adding all those little different factors into it. You kind of do develop the social skills. You do kind of develop the knowledge to be able to deal with, or to be able to, I guess, help people of all different personalities and backgrounds. And I don't think I'd do it any other way. Definitely kind of helps having those set life skills, I guess. Whether it's sales or whether it's not just basic training knowledge in general. I think I wouldn't have it any other way.
Cool. So. And so you're an in-person personal trainer and a fitness coach in athletics. Where do you find there's a lot of pressure, or that you get asked a lot to be online? Because so many coaches at the moment do offer online services. Do you get it much, or do you have much pushback that you're not online, or?
I don't think it's paramount to be a successful trainer if you're not online. I enjoy doing the one-on-one sessions so much. Obviously, to then develop the business in the very near future, I will be going online. Just got a couple other boxes to tick first before I make that transition. I don't think you should, if you are fresh PT coming through, and I've only been in the industry 2 years, so I think that's still pretty fresh, but for someone that's got absolutely no idea, I don't think you should feel pressured in having to set up an online platform at all. If you are enjoying the one-on-one or face-to-face stuff, I don't think you shouldn't feel pressured. If you don't feel like you're ready to do it, then you shouldn't have to do it.
And I think with the online stuff too, you should definitely have to put in, not have to, but you should want to put in the hours of doing the face-to-face work. Like, you just learn so much more about people before they're behind a screen. So I think to be a good coach, obviously I'm not one myself, but to be a good coach or personal trainer, you should have that personal aspect down pat first, so you know how to talk to people, what they mean when they say things, how to gauge when they're not telling you something, before they're able to just type whatever they want and you don't actually see them in person. So I think that every PT should put in the hours in person, personally.
Yeah, definitely. And like my third week of working there, I had someone that's pretty well represented in the fitness industry come straight up to me and he said, are you going online yet? Are you online? And I said, no, like, I'm not interested in that now, because as you just said, I wanted to focus on building up that experience and that that experience to try and build up that face-to-face clientele first. And I said that to him, and he just looked at me like it's crazy. So don't feel, as I said, don't feel pressured if you're not online. If you'll be ready when you're ready, essentially.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Cool. Anything that you want to wrap up about your fitness coaching at the soccer club?
Not really. Just enjoying it, and if you're interested in getting fit and getting fit in the pre-season, just send me a message and we can figure something.
Since I've had other people on, like my coach Beck and then my sister, and getting their what they think about like prep and somebody going through prep, things like that. So you've been beside me through my last prep last year. So what would be your experience being the partner of someone who was going through a prep? Like, how did you find it being on the partner side of things?
You've always got to kind of show that support, and it wasn't really necessarily something you hadn't never done that in the past. So, when we kind of sat down and you said you were looking at doing, prep and this is kind of what was involved with it, you don't really understand that from someone that has no experience in that sport whatsoever. So I just kind of went with the flow, and you literally learn as you go through how to deal with someone going through prep, in the lightest, that's not a deal.
Like, it's hard in the way that all of your fun things that you do together change. Like, the partner can't go out to dinner or restaurants or to go have food. Like, something so easy, like a lot of your downtime changes because the options aren't available. So that part was probably the hardest, is that you go to spend time together, but you can't go here. Like, so it definitely made it hard in that regards. But yeah,
I think the biggest thing is just showing them the support and not getting cranky, because I like to think a lot of relationships are built on getting together, going out for dinner, going out and doing things, and when that big aspect gets taken away from a relationship, you're definitely going to have your hard, it's going to be tough, but it's up to the couple to then be able to, I guess, be able to recognise that, be aware of it, and then try and deal with it from there. And I like to think we kind of did okay in that aspect, but just kind of showing support and just checking in every now and then.
Don't wave chippies under their nose when they're really hungry.
Look, that was a test, and look, you passed, so nice work.
Maybe don't test them really close to the end though, because that's not fun. Weak quads.
I got a cramp.
You're not even doing anything.
Yeah, I know. Getting old.
Alright, so I did have a couple of questions come through. Somebody asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years, personal and career?
5 years is a bit of a stretch.
Okay, maybe go a little bit shorter term then. Maybe 2?
So, probably reflecting back on the last 3 years, my PT model was obviously get qualified and get the certificates that you need to be able to go into the industry. But for example, my sort of path was always kind of just getting comfortable doing the one-on-one and getting the experience, the face-to-face, and just trying to learn as much as I can. And build the business up from there, and then slowly transition into somewhat an online space. So I guess over the next year, 2 years even, that's essentially my goal, is to, I want to tick off a couple of boxes first in regards to certain what do you call it? Tickets, courses,
Certificates.
Want to try to get a couple of certificates done first. For example, nutrition and a couple other things. So I really want to kind of go online 100% ready for everything. I don't want to have someone say, oh, can you help me with nutrition? That was close. And and then not be able to offer that.
There's a blubber swooping out dog. It was so close to her. She's all good, guys. So wanting to help
slowly make that transition online. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
okay.
with the correct qualifications that I think I need to be in that space most effectively.
Yeah, cool. Somebody did ask, how do you deal with prep being my partner, but the question's kind of void. So how do you deal with someone going through prep as a roommate?
As a roommate? What makes it...
makes it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah. You don't feel as bad coming home with KFC. It's... and you can throw the chips at them like a seagull. No. Yeah, I don't know. Just, as I said, just showing that support and just being okay with if they don't want to go out and do something or go out and do whatever because they have trained. They're so focused on the training and nutrition, which is great. It's a good mentality to have.
And did it affect you in any way? Was the other half of that question?
During a roommate or during?
Probably last year maybe, but like this year it wouldn't affect you at all.
So with last year, yeah, definitely, 100%. It's as I said, it's a completely different time spending together, and if you can kind of get past those first couple of weeks and kind of accept, that's going to be the lifestyle for the next 20 weeks or however long the prep goes for, then
shows how much you paid attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And somebody else asked, what is the furthest you have run in a go, and why do you like running in the rain or in the middle of the day, like in just blazing balls heat?
I really want to know who asked that. The furthest I've ever run was probably a Spartan race I did back in 2020 or 2019, I think. It was 21k, 50 obstacles. Took 3.5 hours, or 3 hours 15, I think. I'm not going to give myself any more minutes on that. Yeah, 3 hours 15 minutes to get 21k run done, 50 obstacles. I actually won that in my category, which was a pretty good feeling, and definitely helped coming off the back of a very long COVID soccer season. That was like a 14-month season just because stuff kept getting put back because of COVID. So yeah, I was pretty fit, and 21k. That was down the Gold Coast hinterland in 40-degree heat. So that's probably my biggest I've run. And running in the rain, it's just relaxing. I just love running in the rain and
just loves things hitting his face.
Just love liquid.
I love liquid. And what about the heat? Like, you always go running in like middle of the day during summer. Like, what is it about the heat that you like to go for runs?
I just think it's kind of good to see where your body's at. There's not
push yourself.
There's not many people that can kind of put on the shoes and go for a run in general. That's me at the moment with another injury I'm carrying. But
another injury.
It's that old age. But there's not many people that can kind of put on their shoes and go for a run.
Sorry, I just thought about how you said I love liquid and it made me laugh. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Do we need to go to another commercial break or?
Another question that came through was, what's the tallest you can jump?
Tallest I can jump? I don't know. I'm not very...
At the moment with your Achilles, not very high.
Yeah. I was doing a little bit of rehab yesterday with a band and I could probably jump about 20 centimetres, so...
Oof. And then last question from somebody was, have you ever had anyone cough taco mints in your face when you first met them?
I still got PTSD from that. But, thanks for that Tish, I'll never forget that.
So there's 2 questions that I ask everybody that comes on, and you don't watch any of my other vlogs, so you don't even know what these questions are.
Should also have my homework done?
You should have had it done, yes. When you were a kid, what made you think that other people must be rich? Like, what did somebody have that you were like, oh man, they must be loaded because they've got...
Just Pokemon cards, you know. I always had mates with massive Pokemon card collections, and I was like, fuck, like their parents must be millionaires. And then they bring it to school on top of that, where so Pokemon cards. All the kids used to always get tuck shop. I was kind of like, how many super dupers can you eat in a week? You know, and your parents can still afford to buy you super dupers. Like it was, and I know they're only 50 cents, but back then as a 6-year-old, you kind of like,
wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny. And then, what's one thing you thought you knew but you didn't know? So like one thing that you thought, oh yeah, like that's what it is, until someone goes, that's not true.
It's pretty off the cuff, but I learned this a couple of years ago, but the best tip is if you buy a new car, or drive a new car in general, then when you pull up into the fuel pump and you got the arrow, there's actually an arrow on where it says how much fuel you got in the car, and the way that it's pointing is actually the side that your cap's on. So I think that's a massive life hack that everyone deserves to know. So for the millions of people who are watching this, you're welcome.
Okay, and what's one rule that you thought as a kid and then found out that it wasn't a rule?
I think mum and dad always used to try and probably is a law actually, but you had to be a 10-year-old. You had to be 10 years old to be able to sit in the front. And I remember, I was obviously a little bit taller than an average 10-year-old, I think. And I was never allowed to sit in the front. Mum and dad always said, you have to be 10. You have to be 10 years old. And then I hit 10. I'm like, that's actually going to 12. Well, I'm still sitting in the back.
I think that is somewhat of a rule.
Probably,
but I don't know what the actual age is.
Yeah, I know. But that's pretty off the cuff. So.
Yeah. Cool. So where can people find you, follow you?
Just on Instagram, just Sam Emes PT on Instagram, and if you're interested in doing any training or you want to chat or anything like that, just send me a message, and we can go from there.
And at World Gym Burpengary.
At World Gym Burpengary. Yep.
Training out of. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on. But
thanks for having me.
That's all that we have time for. So.
Yeah, we do. I really got to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Thanks.
No worries.
Bye. And that is everything that I have for all of you for week 5 and 6. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in another fortnight. Oh my god, also, oh my god, I forgot to say, I think I have a show date booked in, and we are possibly 14 weeks out. Yeah, more info on that will come in the next one, but I pretty much only messaged Beck yesterday with the idea of the show that I want to do. So 14 weeks out this weekend. How exciting. Let's get it. Oh my god, I'm so pumped. Have a wonderful fortnight. I'll see you guys soon.